Okay, let's give you guys some practice. So similar to the previous video, this is Pascal's triangle, and I'm going to ask you to work this out. X plus h to the power of 6. Okay, so what is this? I've shown you how to do this in the previous video, but now it's your turn to have a go. So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this here, you know you're going to get x. Looking at Pascal's triangle here, these are the coefficients that you need. X to the power of 6 here. So these are the coefficients that you will need. Okay. So if you want to work out x plus h to the power of 6, well, your first term will be x to the power of 6, and you're going to need 1. So that's just 1 here, but we don't bother putting the 1 in here. And then it's going to be plus, and then this gets minus by 1, this it gets increased by 1. So you're going to have 1 x to the power of 5. It goes down by 1, and then the h goes up by 1. And then the coefficient here would be 6. So it would be 6. Okay, plus now the x goes down by 1, so that would be x to the power of 4. The h goes up by 1, so squared. And the coefficient you would need would be 15. And then the x goes down by 1, so that would be to the power of 3. The h goes up by 1, so that would be this. The coefficient here would be 20. Okay, and then the x here goes down by 1, so goes down by 1, so that would be x squared. And then the h goes up by 1 to the power of 4. And the coefficient that you would need would be 15. Okay, and then the x goes down by 1, and then the h goes up by 1, and the coefficient that you would need would be 6. And then the x goes down by 1, the h goes up by 1, so that'd be h to the power of 6, and the coefficient you would need is 1, but we don't bother putting the 1 in here. So this here is your answer. You see, it's much quicker than having to do it by, well, anyway, next one here. So my next question is x plus h to the power of 7. Okay, so have another go. Press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this here, your first term will be x to the power of 7, and you're only going to need 1. The coefficient here would be 1 here, but we don't bother putting the 1 in there. And then the next, well, the x goes down by 1, the h goes up by 1. So this will be to the power of 6h. The coefficient that you will need will be 7. Okay, plus, now the x goes down by 1, the h goes up by, sorry, x goes down by 1, so that'd be to the power of 5. H goes up by another 1 here. So the coefficient that you will need will be 21. Okay, plus, and then the x goes down by 1, the h goes up by 1, so that the coefficient you will need will be 35. Plus, okay, the x goes down by 1, the h goes up by 1, so that will be the coefficient that you will need will be 35. And blah blah blah. The x goes down by 1, the h goes up by 1. The coefficient that you will need will be 21. The x goes down by 1, the h goes up by 1, so the coefficient that you will need will be 7. And then your last term will be h to the power of 7. So this is your overall answer here. Okay.